We ready, Mr. Spears? All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the Wednesday, June 14th, 5:30 LSC meeting to order. Before we begin, I want to take a roll call vote. Not vote, roll call.
Stephen Mitchell,
Here.
Akira Barclay, here. Charles Barron Jr.,
Here.
Joyce Brown, Dwayne Davis,
Here.
Richard Flowers,
Here.
Eugene Lewis, Jennifer Lewis, Tamara Pope,
Here.
Reginald Spears,
Here.
Nicole Spicer,
Here.
Renata Townsend.
All right. Just want to note that we have a quorum, but before we move forward, I'd like to move that we allow Dr. Pope to participate remotely in this meeting. The motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of allowing Dr. Pope to participate remotely, please raise your hand. Any noes? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. Dr. Pope, you can participate remotely. We'll
Thank
move.
you, everyone.
Thank you. As always, we start with our vision. The Bronzeville Classical School community intentionally values and highlights the strength of all members through providing a personalized learning experience, celebrating diversity, and practicing creative problem solving in order to cultivate a strong accelerated program to nurture lifelong learners. The mission is BCS commits to personalized growth and empowerment of all. The norms of the meeting be result oriented, be fully present, be respectful of others' time, assume the best intentions, and stay student focused. We'll begin by approval of the agenda. Did everyone see the agenda? Anybody have any objections or additions they'd like to make?
I'd like to move. Accept the agenda.
All right, there being a motion made and second, we accept the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor, vote by raising your hand.
One here.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the agenda is approved. We have already established that we have a quorum. We'll move right into the minutes. Did everyone get an opportunity to review the minutes from both April and May?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve?
I move that we accept the minutes as tendered. Second.
All right, motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes as stated, vote by raising your hand. Any opposed?
One online.
Not opposed. In favor.
Okay. Any abstentions? All right, that passes. We'll accept the minutes as stated. All right, we'll go right into the principal's report.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I am not able to give us an update on our year-end attendance until after year-end and processing, so I can give an update in our August LSC meeting. I am excited that the number of students who are on track increased from last month, as well as the number of students far and off decreased. Our medical compliance remained the same, 86.99% at the end of the school year. And then our students, by grade point average, 154 students have a 3.5 or higher, 45 have a 3.0 or higher, 23 a 2.5 or higher, 4 a 2.0 or higher, and then 1 with less than a 2.0. Our family income information forms, we ended the school year at about 66.41% submitted. We have a new procedure for next school year to help out with that. We'll be hosting registration days over the summer because we do have all the back to school forms. So we are hoping that that will enable us to collect more of those forms, which could result in additional supplemental aid from the state. We are up to 361 of our families connected to Parent Portal to access grades and student fees. That is up to 92%, a 1.25% increase since last month. I have copies of all of the financial reports that will be uploaded to the LSC drive. We ended the school year with a total of 65 COVID cases over the course of the school year. 39 of those came from self-reports, and 26 of those came from the CPS screener. We do have 73% of our student population that is fully vaccinated, and 4% have at least one dose. An update on our selective enrollment elementary school applications. In kindergarten, we have all but 2 seats filled, so 54 out of 56 seats are filled in kindergarten. We have 1 open seat in first grade, no open seats in second grade, 1 open seat in third grade, 2 open seats in fourth grade, 1 open seat in fifth, 2 open in sixth, and 1 open in seventh, for a total of up to 72 new students will be joining us next school year. We also ended the year 100% compliant by completing all of our safety drills. We were unable to get back to the shelter in place weather drill at the end of May. We have now finalized our Welcome Back August calendars that will be shared with families as soon as possible. The first order of business is to confirm our back to school events, which I am proud to announce that CPS will be providing $20 per student into our school-based budget so that we can host a back-to-school event. So please stay tuned on that. We don't have to take those out of our local funds, which is exciting news. The district will be funding that at $20 per student. Going into the domains for principal competency, domain 1, which is organizational leadership, focused on overseeing systems, structures, and processes for continuous improvement. We held our organizational meeting for the CIWP. I completed the principal end of the year conversation with my network chief. I am scheduled to provide end of the year feedback with Assistant Principal Bellamy. We held our diverse learner team support meeting. We held our IoT planning meeting to review the school year 23 data to determine the focus of our first learning cycle focused on climate and culture for next fall. And then we also presented school-wide data from iReady, Cultivate, and the 5 essentials to the IoT. In domain 2, the instructional core, which ensures rigorous, coherent curriculum, instruction, assessments aligned to the needs of every student. End of the year iReady testing is complete. Reports were sent home with report cards on Wednesday, June 7th. Summer acceleration workbooks were provided for all grade levels, kindergarten through 7th. K through 6 got a jumpstart book, which provided math and language arts practice. And our 7th graders are focusing on the foundations of algebra because they'll be taking pre-algebra in the fall. Access to iReady personalized pathways and iExcel will remain available over the summer break. We will be hosting a local summer bridge program offered to students in 5th and 6th grade who need additional support. We have invited 20 students. Registration is open for Summer Eagle Extras. We were able to complete the curriculum adoption for Amplify ELA. The school leadership team is restructuring the IoT for next school year. And we do have 2 rising 5th graders who qualify for and will receive whole grade acceleration in math. Domain 3, climate and culture, which ensures the organizational norms, routines, and systems equitably promote the students' intellect, social, and emotional development. Our staff voted to restructure 1 professional development day on June 10th, 2024, which will allow us to have 4 90-minute meetings after school for professional development. Staff retreat is planned for August 4th through the 5th. New staff are registered to attend. The focus will be on team building and defining the Eagle Way Staff Edition. Instructional support staff will be enlisted to support restorative recess options for students who need additional SEL development during their recess. School-wide committee will be formed to analyze and develop an approach for restorative discipline. And then last but not least, we will be taking a deep dive analysis into our Cultivate data and 5 essentials data, which will guide the work of the climate and culture team. The last domain, which is talent, ensures identification, development, and retention of diverse talent and cultivates leadership. We successfully hired our math interventionist, Matsuo Marty. He is going through the onboarding process right now. We have remaining positions open in third grade STEM and fourth grade STEM, intermediate diverse learner teacher, and a PL or personalized learning coordinator. Depending on the candidates, we are looking to move Ms. Hernandez back to middle school for social science. My mentorship of Principal Murphy at Hendricks is complete. I have been selected to mentor Christopher Shelton, who is the new principal of Bronzeville Inglewood High School for Boys. I continue to participate with the Network 9 principal collaboration team with Drake, Mollison, Revis, Woodlawn, and Beasley. I completed the Dare to Lead Brene Brown PLC for school leaders, and we will also continue our personalized learning PLC participation into 2024 with our PO Coordinator Lead Network. And one thing I did leave off the talent piece is I am serving as an instructor for the Golden Apple Summer Institute this summer. So excited about that. That concludes my academic updates. The budget part is really long, so if you want to break it up to ask like academic questions, that'll be I'm okay with that if the chair is okay.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so I just had a question, like in the beginning when you were mentioning medical compliance. In the beginning, when you were mentioning medical compliance, and then you were giving data on school youth grades, and so do we have any benchmarks set for those? Because I guess for me, you know, you're mentioning these numbers, but do we know we're doing well? Are we meeting?
I think the
That's true.
district ones schools. I think Nurse Davis said like. So it's hard to yes and no. So everything in the district really begins at third grade. So we start tracking students to be on track at third grade. So we want as many of our students to be on track as possible. So right now, 83% is probably extremely high across the district. So 83% of our students are on track for grades and data. The gradient or like the nuance comes with maybe I have the grades, but my attendance is low. And so that's when I start to talk about like the students who are almost near, far, and off track. So for the most part, we're looking at about 17% of our students that are off track. Those students typically receive additional supports, either academic MTSS or SEL MTSS, and are tracked through Branch and Minds, which is just like the platform to track interventions and contact with families. So that is in place. For medical compliance, I believe it's like around 80 or 85%. I'm not really sure. We typically trend higher than this. So I'm not really sure, you know, why people didn't turn in their immunization forms. But we haven't excluded people for that recently. So I think that if we transition into excluding people for not turning in their stuff, then we probably will see a better increase. So that's the medical compliance piece. Since we're kind of early out and we do have a relationship with the University of Chicago, their community outreach team, because one of our parents is on that in that department, we can, you know, invite a medical van out for our back to school rally. But typically, our families have their own primary care physicians. So I just didn't want to book something like that to take resources from a school that probably really, really needs it. But if that is the pleasure of the body, I don't mind reaching out and coordinating that and asking them to come out to our back to school event. But all of the network back to school events usually always have a medical van there to support the community and making sure that they are compliant with their medical documentation. And so with probably all of our third, well, I think this is, yeah, all of our students third through sixth, all but one of our 227 students have a 2.0 or higher. Again, I think that we're doing a decent job. At a selective enrollment school, you would want everybody to be a 3.0 or higher. But below a 3.0, I would say we only have 28 students out of that 227. So again, I think comparatively we're doing well. I would like to see our family income information much higher. Most schools do hit 100%, so 66% is extremely low.
So I'm just like, yeah, thank you for that. So that's very helpful to give us an opportunity to kind of gauge where we are. But like going forward, if possible, if there is a already established metric or a way for us to know where we stand in terms of the district or wherever we're being compared to, if we could know that, just so we can know as a team where we are, and if we need to, come up with ideas to help improve those areas.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Just move right into the new staff.
So new staff. So starting from first grade, Miss Shook formerly was third grade humanities teacher. She is going to be first grade self-contained teacher. In third grade, Miss Curtis is going to be the third grade humanities teacher. We are hiring for a third grade STEM teacher. In fourth grade, right now, we have Miss Sudak doing the humanities, Miss Hernandez doing the STEM, but we are looking to hire a STEM teacher to move Miss Hernandez back to middle school social science. In fifth grade, we have, I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. Let me pull up the org chart. Fifth grade, we have Miss Chuhath Ali is going to be the humanities teacher. Miss Sigelco is going to be the STEM teacher. Sixth grade, and I'm not sure if she's going to be sixth or seventh grade, but sixth and seventh grade science is Miss Hoover. She is transitioning from Shoesmith, and she's a nationally board certified teacher. Right now, we are not sure who our social science teacher is going to be. Our sixth, seventh ELA teacher is Tamika Bradford. She is transitioning from Azul. And then Miss Kimberly Wilson is going to be our sixth, seventh math teacher. She's transitioning from Oglesby. Miss Keepers is going to remain our K through 7th interventionist, but for reading. And then we just hired a new math interventionist, Mr. Marty. Miss Hickman will remain our primary diverse learner teacher. Miss Roman is going to be our 6th and 7th grade diverse learner teacher. We are hiring for a diverse learner teacher for 4th and 5th. We were able to hire a diverse learner case manager and diverse learner instructional coach. Her name is Miss Shine. She is coming from Murray Language Academy. Our essentials teachers are all the same. We do have a new social worker who will be here for 4 days. I think her name is May Aldadati. And so we are looking forward to meeting her, but she'll be here Monday through Thursday each day. The rest of our clinicians, as of right now, Dr. Swoop Drew, our school psychologist, Dr. Way, our speech language pathologist, Nurse David just passed his certified nursing certification. So he's looking to move from a health service nurse to the certified school nurse. And so he will continue to report here for 2 days a week. Ms. Wesley will continue as a part-time interventionist, so she'll be here 1 day a week. All of our special education classroom assistants are coming back. Ms. Plains, Mr. Lewis, Ms. Jackson, Mr. Williams, and new this upcoming school year, Ms. Jones, Ms. C. Jones, and Ms. Thomas will move from miscellaneous employees to teacher assistants. So K1 and 2 will share a teacher assistant. So all the primary classrooms will have a dedicated teacher assistant. And I believe those are all of the new staff or the staff changes for this upcoming year. Curriculum adoption, we did make the decision to adopt Amplify for ELA, and that will be kindergarten through 7th grade. At the end of the year, we ended up having quite a bit of funds left. So we were able to transfer, and you all will hear all about that. Funds in order for us to adopt that curriculum. We adopted that curriculum because the humanities team felt extremely strong about the science of reading principles that were embedded in the Amplified Science curriculum, which in part is present in Skyline, but because of Skyline is a 100% digital platform, just the learning curve of like navigating the platform, having kids on Chromebooks too much, thinking about the principles of science and reading, we did opt to adopt Amplify instead of Skyline. Summer programming, we do have a local summer bridge program that I previously talked about, invited 25th and 6th graders who we felt like needed more support and just to get them a jump start on next school year. We did have one student who was required to attend. And then we also are offering a 3-week Summer Eagle Extras program. I'm excited. We were able to book all of our buses for our Friday field trips. So it's going to be a great time. So if your child is looking for something to do, that could be an option. We did complete and close out the aftercare survey. The aftercare committee met with me to just discuss the results from the survey, which resulted in a letter that went out to families. We are in the process of scheduling a feedback session with Ms. McCorkle so that we can finalize everything and provide it by July 1st. I think the biggest thing that I'm asking families to prepare for is worst case scenario, tuition-based after-school programming will end at 5 p.m. So that's worst case scenario. So I just want everybody to plan for 5 p.m. But through negotiations and discussions, we're trying to do what's best for most people. We can't please everybody, but we're going to try to do the best for most.
All right. Thank you. We'll move right into budget review.
So this is quite arduous. And so I'm asking for you all to be patient because there are 51 balance transfers that are needed. So the reason why there are so many is because when you get this fund summary and it's 3 pages, all of the money, and it could be small amounts, little amounts, big amounts, are all on these different budget lines. So in order to get everything where I need it to go, there are 51 transactions that have to take place. So I am going to group them by fund. So I will not call them all 51 at a time. So I'm going to tell you where the money came from and where the money went. At the end, I'm going to ask or make a motion that you all approve all of the transfers unless you want me to do them separately. I'll defer to the chair.
Is it possible to, would you guys like to see the summary or have a detail? I mean, are you okay with that? How do you all feel about it? Yeah, you have a question? All right, so yeah, if you give us, I guess, with the summary, and then you'll make the detailed.
Maybe I should do it by phone.
I think we're okay. I think we, as long as the details are available for us to look at.
Yeah. Yes. It's
Okay.
a series of numbers, but
Okay. So if anybody has any questions, the detailed amounts and everything will be available for you to look at if you have any. And as she goes through them, if you have any questions, certainly feel free to ask. But we'll go ahead and move into the transfers.
I'm gonna put this down. Dr. Pope,
Yes, I was going to ask for the chairman, is there a way to account for any amendments that might need to be made? So say, for instance, if Principal Spicer goes through all 50 plus transactions, but maybe 1 or 2 of them need to be tweaked, can we approve all of the can we make an amendment to change whatever 1 or 2 transactions may or may not need to be changed, but also approve the entire list of financial transactions that she's going to discuss? And that's either for you or our parliamentarian.
Yeah, I'm assuming that once the motion is made, if an amendment is requested and she accepts it, then then we can accept the amendment and vote on it. Richard, is that your understanding? So yes, the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. So, the
You can't give her an advanced copy of it, so she'll have to write everything down.
I can give you a copy. So I guess like the thing that you probably want to do, Miss Townsend, is I'm going to give you the account, and so I'll tell you what account is going from this account to this account, and so that's how I'm going to try to group it. So 51300 is the account for a pointer line, and so that is coming from like a payroll line. So money showed up. So it was on a pointer line. So pointer lines typically pay for something related to the position, whether it's benefit days, insurance, something with their payroll. So we have 3 transactions that we will need to transfer. And the total for those are $13,350.25. And those were transferred to supply lines for supply lines, service, and instructional materials digital. Okay. The next set is coming from 51320, and this is a bucket position pointer line. And those are going to the same lines. So those went to instructional materials digital, instructional materials non-digital, and these were for reading, math, and science. The totals for those $30,748.25. Mm-hmm.
For this 51320, how many transfers is that?
51320.
Yeah, the one you just did.
I think I did 51320. Yep. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and the first one was 3. Mm-hmm. And I believe this one. I believe this is another pointer line, but I just want to make sure. This is the benefits pointer line. And it's going to I haven't given it to you yet. 51330. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are coming from the benefit line. And they are all going to supplies, digital, instructional material, non-digital instructional material. The areas that it's going to is reading and math, and then office supplies. The total from 30 is going to be is 115 375 no $115,375.12. Ready for the next one? 53304. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. And this one is because this one is coming from instructional materials. So moving it to, we moved it to a food line or supplies, but one is food. And that was $36 for food, but the rest are all instructional materials outside of that one. So the total for that one is $15,795.63. The next one is 53305, and it's 2, and it's moving from non-digital to supplies. And that was non-digital in science. And so because we didn't have to buy anything because we did the Skyline adoption, so money was allocated. We did not need that money, so we moved it over to supplies. The total transfer from the science line is 3, $3,434.60. The next one is coming from the software instructional line, going to the office supply line. And it's only one of those from 53307 for $157.25.
You said that was from software instructional to where?
To office supplies. The next ones I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 are going to come from 53405, and that's the supply line. With the supplies, depending on what it has to be supplies for math, supplies for digital, supplies for instructional, supplies for office. So all of those are just moving in between supply lines. So the total of those 12 are going to be and the smallest one is $2.67, but I moved it. So we're going to talk about that at the end of my budget So hopefully we can be more efficient. We're almost there, you guys. Tell them it's no practice today. Check the group. $5,560.50. So lots of small amounts all over the place. The next one is going from 54125, and that's the services line going to supply lines. And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. The totals for those are $30,942.59. The next one is 2 lines. It's going from 54205, and that's from travel. We ended up not really doing conferences this year. And so the conference money went to supplies. And the total for that one was $12,903.98. The next one is going from our student transportation lines to equipment and supplies. There are 2 from that line, 54505. And the totals for those 2 are, bless you, $5,222. This next one is just one. This is a code I'm not familiar with. Let me look it up. The next code is 5455, and this is for meals, lodge, and travel.
The number is what?
545. Hold on, I'm reloading my page. 1 second. It is 54. Oh goodness. Oh, it didn't go to the next page. It was 54555, and it's just one line. And the total on that one line is $264.18.
You said that was going from the meals, lodging, and travel.
To equipment.
Equipment.
The next one is 55005. There are 2 of those. One was transferred from, let me see what subject this is. I believe art equipment going to office equipment. And it's 2 of those. And those, the total for those are $5,263.38. These are the last three. They're going from 57940 to supplies and services. Where is it from? Hold on, I'm gonna click on it. That is from a miscellaneous account. So it's just miscellaneous charges. That's the from. So it's coming from a miscellaneous line to supplies.
I mean, it's two.
It's 3.
Three.
Yep, it's okay, 3. And these are the last 3. We made it. And before I make my motion, I do want to give you all just a little bit more detail because I know it's a lot of money that we're reshuffling. All right, the total for the last 3 is $17,400. So we spent that money on, we will be doing our end of the year family community engagement event here on June 29th. The event on June 29th, I'm just gonna say that hopefully you all have checked your emails and know about the family community engagement event on June 29th. Okay. No questions about that. Perfect. So it was $950 for catering for that. The teacher workroom in 207 is moving downstairs to 107, and the 4th graders are coming upstairs. So I had to get the Promethean board from 107 installed in 207, and so that's going to be $850. We have some giveaways for our back to school bash. So we have water bottles, drawstring book bags, LED glow bracelets, and then some back to school welcome gifts for the staff. That was $10,365.71. We booked all 3 buses for our summer programming. We booked 6 buses on 3 different dates. Each Friday, that's $980 times 3. We also purchased a portable projection screen. We have been borrowing another school, so we purchased that, as well as some additional portable projectors because we host a lot of people and sometimes they need a projector. So that was $4,742.93. We bought Chalk the Walk supplies for Ms. Forrest at $406. We are getting some new branded materials, so we had to pay the consultant from central office. That was $24,300. But the caveat to that is they gave us $40,000 and said they only needed us to allocate for the graphic designer at $24,300. So the remainder of that $40,000 we were able to spend on our branded materials. So a lot of money came into our account. So just so you know, they gave us the money to pay for it, but we had to pay for it out of our unit, if that makes sense. Okay. We got yes, I saw you. We also got some additional sports equipment for our athletics program, $1,351.74. We replenished our consumables for our math curriculum, Eureka Math, for grades 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got the Succeed workbooks, which are the homework books, and then the problem sets and exit tickets for all 4 of those grade levels. And that came to $11,053.91. Our opening retreat for the staff at Eaglewood is $18,534.20. We renewed our Study Island subscription, which was $9,064.20. We were able to renew our intervention program from IXL called Reading Eggs for $986. We were able to bring back the Mosaic Project and their consultant fee for the full year next year with 25 contact hours, and they will be presenting at our opening retreat is $10,250. We purchased a chess enrichment program for Eagle Extras next year. We're starting with 20 students. If we get more interest with our FY24 budget, we can increase it, but we just started with 20. So that was $14,500. For Curriculum Associates, which is our iReady add-on, in addition to what the district already pays, in order for us to have it, instead of just be the assessment for K-2, would be the assessment for K-7, as well as the personalized learning, is $28,422. For the National SAM Innovation Project, which is my time change coaching and use of time track for the principal, is $2,500. Handwriting for 4th grade, $843. Our curriculum consultant to help us with our new curriculum adoption and adjusting our scope and sequences for the full year, that consultant is $11,500. We have a not a consultant. We partnered with Urban Innovators for summer enrichment. So for our out of school time, it's going to be $5,770 for our Eagle Extra summer program. But we also bought some MBOTs and teledrones. So the kids who come, they'll be using that equipment, and that equipment belongs to us. And then our adoption for our reading curriculum, kindergarten through 7th grade, was $44,374.53. Want to be able to do this one again? We will finally have a updated website. So we have our new website cost is $3,060, which came out of that $40,000 that the district gave us. So there's that. Okay. So those are the big expenditures that we made with all of those budget transfers. So any discussion before I make my motion? Oh, I make my motion first. Okay. Okay. I move that all of the aforementioned budget transfers are approved for instructional materials, clubs, catch-all phrase for
I think you mean aforementioned.
aforementioned. Okay.
Second.
Thank you.
All right, the motion has been made and properly second. Any discussion?
I
Mrs. Spears, you want to just
Oh, you were over there by the.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just am curious about the supply line when it's coming. You said earlier that things were going to the supply lines, and a couple of them you mentioned like specific subject areas. If you didn't mention a specific subject area, is there a general supply line that things are going to?
Yes. So for the supplies, everything has to kind of be by content area. So the $44,000 for the reading adoption, that is on a reading line. When we transferred the money to non-digital instructional materials supplies, that was from the math line. What we did was for like our catch-all is put things in the office, so we didn't have to make a lot of transfers. So when we did stuff for like our branding and marketing, we put that in the office because it's more broad, and we could just put a big lump sum of money there and then make all of the requisitions from that big line.
And then the money that was paid for the website from these transfers, do we have access to edit the website
Yes.
now? Are we getting trained on how to do that?
Yes, all of that, Mr. Spears. So with the web design, we signed on. We can get up to 30 pages on our website. They are going to do a photo and drone shoot. There'll be a temporary splash page if needed, and then custom graphic design. This is an annual licensing, but it includes technical support Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 a.m., unbranded mobile application, hosting, network security, virus protection, unlimited storage and bandwidth, unlimited video uploads and streaming, automated backups, free software updates. They also gave us a 1 year waiver for principal virtual webmaster fee. And so I asked the vendor what that meant. And so if I want something updated, as long as it comes from my email address, they will update it for me for the website for up to a year. They waived it this year to see if we want it, if we actually use it, and if we do like it, then we would have to pay the additional $255 for next school year.
What's the platform?
I think you're getting into the weeds, and I don't know. I'll pass the quote around to you, but I
I'm just
know.
curious as staff member, I'm just curious if like we're gonna have the ability to update it, because I'm thinking ahead, like putting live
Homework,
streams on the website and
okay.
stuff like that. So
I am
wondering-
almost 100% that is an option. I can pass this around so you can see it, but this is a vendor who probably has about 56 CPS accounts. They are by far one of the cheapest on available to us, but they did Fort Dearborn, King, Social Justice, Grimes, Medgar Evers, Wales. So there are a ton of CPS schools that they do the website for. So that's a question that I can probably email. And they told me as soon as the PO was generated, it'll be 10 to 12 weeks to launch.
Ms. Spicer, what's the renewal on that? I know you talked about the
3,000
every year,
Mhm.
and will that include? That does not include that principal thing.
If the principal thing is included, it'll be $3,060 plus $255.
Okay, and presumably we'll be able to put like a page for the basketball team, a page for.
We have 30 pages that we can add to the website.
Awesome, thank you. Oh, sorry.
Does the website include e-commerce? So like if Friends of Bronzeville would like to do web orders for merchandise?
So I do have a parent who already reached out to me to manage the website. And so that was one of the questions that she asked. And so I am going to have a meeting when we set up our photo shoot and everything so that we can ask that. But if the Friends of Bronzeville would like to have like a page connected to our page for e-commerce, I do think that that would be an option. But we probably will need some help because that will require us making sure inventory is up to date online, and then who's processing those orders. So I don't know the ins and outs yet, but I do think it could be a possibility.
Could be useful for a number of groups within our school. Room parents, Mr. Spears Productions, if he so chooses, having the ability to just go to the website, purchase things, and then having the ability to export or download those orders into a spreadsheet seems like it would help a lot.
And so, and I would also think about, and the attorneys in here would know more about liability in terms of maybe if it's for the Friends of Bronzeville, they would have a link that would go to their website so that we're not responsible for anything.
Yeah, so generally the financial components are specific to the organization. So that's what'll happen, even though it'll look like it's on the CPS website, there will be a link and there will be so that you can do a secure transaction. And that's more dealing with like our financial institution or whatever the other organizations. So it wouldn't be like a transaction on behalf of the school. It would be literally, it may appear that way, but it would literally be the banking institution of the organization and their information.
And we'll be very diligent with that because the district is very particular about funds, how they're collected, what accounts they're in. And, you know, some of my colleagues have gotten in trouble about that. So we're going to be very, very diligent about funds collection and how and where that'll be collected. So we will just first see about the capabilities and then we'll go through to make sure that we're compliant with any funds that are collected and how they're collected.
All right, any more discussion?
Do we have a total on all those transfers? We got 250. So I want to. I want to know if the numbers.
Well, I can, I have it printed out here, so if you all
Okay.
want to go through the printouts, that's fine. Let me make sure that these are not the same. These are the same, okay. 31, no, yeah, so this is 1 through 30, and then this is 31 through 52. So you can add them up, but they don't give me a total at the bottom because they're going to different lines, so, but I do also have the non-payroll funds report, so you all can look at the different budget lines to see what's available. We do have $36,000, roughly a little bit more, $36,195.47. Today is the last day to really process requisitions, so that's what I was doing right before I came up. To make sure that all those are spent. But there is some limitation. So it's going to look like we left money, but money that is not SBB dollars, I really don't have access to. So it looks like I have access to it, but at the end, in old business, I can come back and give you all the total remaining that we have left to spend. And if I have to make a motion or anything like that, we can do that at the end.
Richard, are you gonna? All right. Any more discussion? Great. There being none, all those in favor of the motion, vote by raising your hand.
I
Aye.
told to do that, by the way. So
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Spicer. We will move on to school checks. School checks.
School checks, since we met on May 10th, were for the end of the year staff cruise, $650. DJ for the Father and Me event, $250. The balance of, so the $650 was our deposit, $1950 was our balance for the staff cruise. So the total staff cruise was $1950 plus $650, but we did take that out of our STBU leasing fees. So that did not come from student fees or any instructional lines. We also provided transportation to and from Navy Pier so that our staff would not have to pay for parking. That was $818. Again, came from our STBU line. $420 for the kindergarten setup for bronze balloons, $625 from kindergarten setup for our 360 camera, $350 for our DJ at the kindergarten celebration, and then $250 for our DJ on the last day of school. So, I'm sorry, total checks wrote since May 10th, $7,620.75.
Do our student fees carry over from year to year? All right, great. Any questions about school checks? All right, we'll move on to fundraisers.
Our dunk tank, I thought Miss Gillian was going to be here. I don't know if Miss Townsend or Miss Barclay know, but I know we raised over $3,000 for the dunk tank. So very excited. I think the room parents exceeded their goal. And so I did want to just take a moment to lift a couple of things up that may not be explicit. During our May LSC meeting, we had extensive conversations about the dunk tank, who was going to pay for it, if it was going to be a CPS vendor, how were the funds going to be collected, if it was for the room parents. And so I want the LSC, as well as anyone joining us virtually, to know and understand that whenever we have a fundraiser or we collect funds, there's a very, very specific way that we have to do it. If we did a CPS vendor and we use school funds for it, there was some concern about the quotes that we were getting, which were over $700. And then also not knowing the exact ticket cost at that time to see if we were going to get the money back. So rather than taking money from our school fees, or our school budget discretionary funds, the Friends of Bronzeville really quickly had an offline conversation and offered to front the money for the room parents who did not have any seed money. Because of that, instead of having to pay over $700 for a dunk tank, we actually found a dunk tank that I think ended up being around $300, and then we only had to pay a deposit before we started the fundraiser, which ended up being maybe like $150. So the Friends of Bronzeville did front about $150. They were able to get paid back, and they still made way more than they wanted to make. So because we have a Friends of Bronzeville, because we were adaptable and supportive of each other, we were able to get a dunk tank for nearly half the cost that it would have cost the school, and we were able to exceed our fundraising goal. And the room parents were able to easily pay back their deposit to the Friends of Bronzeville. So I just wanted to elevate that and see if there were any questions on why we did what we did, or any misunderstandings regarding that. Okay. Chalk the Walk is coming up. It'll be in August, which is our back to school event. So I move that we host our annual Chalk the Walk event in August to welcome our students back as a fundraiser for the arts program.
All right, the motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor vote by raising your hand. Dr. Pope? Okay. All those opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. Next up.
Next fall and next spring, we would like to host our Scholastic Book Fairs. I move that we approve the Scholastic Book Fairs for the fall, typically around report card pickup, in the spring, typically around report card pickup.
Motion been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of the motion vote by raising your hand.
Aye.
All right. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. Moving on to the Friends of Bronzeville Summer Movie Fundraiser. Okay. The summer movie fundraiser is just a fundraiser that we have to raise funds and also give the kids an opportunity to see each other over the summer. There are a number of blockbuster movies that are coming out that are age appropriate for our kids, and we just want to have a fundraiser again to get the kids together over the summer and to raise some funds for the school. We haven't decided on which movie, but it will definitely be during the summertime. So I move that we. Can I do that as a chair though? Even though I'm on the Friends of Bronzeville. Okay, I just can't vote. All right, so I move that we approve the Friends of Bronzeville summer movie fundraiser. Any discussion, questions? There being none, all those in favor of the motion, vote by raising your hand.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? How many is that? Okay, so that motion passes. The next fundraiser is the Friends of Bronzeville is a spirit gift fundraiser. We generally like to have a fundraiser right before we go back to school when we do the what's it called, Miss Spicer? The new back to school event. Sell spirit gift for the new students as well as the old students. This is something that we've typically done every year. So we'd like to have that fundraiser at the back to school event. So I move that the Friends of Bronzeville fundraiser to sell spirit gear at the back to school event be approved. All right, the motion has been made and properly second. Any questions or discussion? There being none, all those in favor of the back to school fundraiser for spirit gear, vote by raising your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that passes. Next, we'll move on to diverse learners.
One of our diverse learners is transitioning to Kenwood. We're super excited. So we're going down. Well, we're losing one student. One of our incoming kindergartners is coming in with the individual education plan. We're going to stay right at 14. New up this year, we will have 3 teacher positions: primary, intermediate, and upper. And then we will have a DL case manager coach.
Thank you. Did you cover caseload or is that pretty
Caseload
much?
is 14.
Okay. All right. Old business. Principal Evaluation Committee update.
I'd like to move to go to closed session.
Okay, I just want to offer an amendment that we go into closed session and offer and allow Ms. Spicer to come into closed session with us.
So amended.
All right. All right. Second. All right. All those in favor of going to closed session and discussing principal evaluation and allowing Ms. Spicer to come in, raise your hand. All right, raise your hand. That means yay.
Aye.
All right, great. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. So we will go into closed session. All right, thank you everyone for your patience. We're now back in open session.
I'd like to make a motion, we accept Principal Spicer's evaluation. Second.
All right, the motion has been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of accepting Principal Spicer's evaluation as stated, raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, looks like that motion passes. All right, we'll move right on to,
I just want to go on record and commend the committee for their diligence on working on Principal Spicer's evaluation, as I know it was not easy to do, but thank you for your work on it.
Can we also go on record and letting Principal Spicer know that she is exceptional? We appreciate her dedication to our school community.
Thank you. A little bit more enthusiastic, please. Not sure.
Oh.
This one.
all right. So it looks like we'll go into finalize the CIWP committee nomination from the LSC.
Yes, I know previously we discussed there were a couple people who were going to participate. I know Mr. Spears and I are on that committee. And so with our Open Meetings Act policy, I wanted to be diligent. I know Ms. Barclay and Mr. Mitchell, you both expressed some interest, and I remember you saying like you would defer to Mr. Mitchell. I just wanted to finalize because we do have our next meeting dates, and I wanted to make sure that our LSC representative was there, and then maybe if we could put a call out to see if a few more parents from other grade levels wanted to join the committee. So I just wanted to know who else from the LSC will be joining the committee with Mr. Spears and myself. Oh, more of Mr. Mitchell. Yay. Can you just write down to ask Marcus about that? Ms. Barclay, will you just be on standby? We can't ask Marcus just to be 100% sure. But I just okay.
Just so that we have a diverse group.
Yes.
What am I asking him? If we can have more than one parent or what?
Well, with me and Mr. Spears and then two parents, it will be four.
Oh, so is that an LSC meeting?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Next, we'll move into our parent representative. No.
We have a little
First-
mutiny on our hands.
Right. No, we have a unfortunately and fortunately, it's kind of a blessing, bittersweet that one of our parent representatives will be leaving us. Her daughter is going to another school, so this may be her last LSC meeting. I just really wanted to thank you, Raynanda. You've been here since the beginning. You were here. You headed up the room parents. You were always there for the Friends of Bronzeville. When you would see us with a lot of people there, you would always come in. You've always been sort of helping where needed, and you were an asset to our school community. And we really appreciate all that you have done. And thank you for your service. And I'm sure this won't be our last time seeing you, but we wish you good luck and Godspeed in everything you do. So, and we got you some flowers over there too, that just as a show of our appreciation. No, but really, thank you for everything you've done, really, and we really appreciate all your hard work. So thank you. And so, do you want to say anything, Renanda?
Oh, you done made her cry, Steve. So don't cry. This is a good thing. It's a good thing.
I can still remember the first time I met Miss Spicer at the gallery. I was very nervous about putting my daughter in school, and she had a missing tooth that she was feeling ashamed about, and Miss Spicer coached her into feeling good about it. And you guys have really helped me to help her mature and become a family for me. So this is very hard. Um, it was a tough decision, and I really like. I don't want to resign, but I know I have to because I'm not a parent here. But thank you all so much for the stamp that you have put on my life and my child's life. We are so much better because of all of you all. So I appreciate you all so much. And I want to see BCS succeed. So I'm going to be rooting for you all and doing everything I can in the background. My daughter's already told me I got to bring her to the play rehearsals, and she's not even in it. But I do appreciate you guys, and I wish you all the best.
All righty. Next, we'll move right into set the date for the July organizational meeting. Man, this is a tough. This is the toughest decision of all today. This.
I'm asking for the week of July 3rd or July 10th. After that, I'm gone. I mean, it don't have to be the 4th.
Well, we're gone the whole. Yeah, I'm out.
The
whole
5th or the
time.
12th.
Yeah, I'm out.
What about July 12th?
Oh, the 12th?
July 12th.
In our regular meeting, why can't we do it then?
Okay, I'm just.
Hold on.
Sorry, everybody's calendar. That's what I was curious.
Nah.
It's not a regular meeting, but it's the second Wednesday. Meaning it was the second Wednesday.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
just like, sorry, my bad.
No.
My bad.
The next one is
It's our
organizational
regular
meeting.
date.
Supposed to be going to Puerto Rico.
Well, not on July 12th. Well, you could join from the beach if you want to be the chair.
I mean, on them private islands, they don't probably have reception.
They don't have reception.
They don't have reception on those private islands.
But you can go in the yacht. It's,
Give them a sat phone. Give them the sat phone.
oh, it's July 14th. Hey, so the 12th will work.
July
12th.
12th? Okay, July 12th. I make a motion that we hold our July organizational meeting on July 12th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m.
Just out of curiosity, can we move it up any, or is there anybody opposed to moving it up?
Time up.
Yeah, like
Move the
just
time up.
not 5:30. Like, can anybody come like even 4, 3? What are y'all's?
I'm good.
What about you, Richard?
I'm good. The motion was for 5.
Right, but we'll
5:30.
take it back.
Right, no, well, the motion was
can
for
I amend
5:30.
it?
Well, the motion
Okay.
was 5:30. Now there's discussion. So
Well, first thing in the
4 o'clock.
morning work? Well, first thing in the morning, like before people start their work day? Oh, I'm not first. I mean like 9:30. Like in the summer, I don't do anything before 9.
I can't. Because we'll have rehearsal.
Oh. What time? Oh, rehearsals at 10. What time is your day over?
12.
Does 12 work? Okay. I'd like to rescind my motion. My new motion is can we I move that we hold our organizational meeting on July 12, 2003 at 12 noon. 23.
Second.
We're just doing like who the positions. That's it. It should be no more than 30, 45 minutes.
Every time we should be 30, 45.
All right, the motion been made and properly second. Any discussion?
yeah, just curious, since I had to step out, the special election, would that happen at that time, or did we talk about that?
So we don't do a special election. We actually have we can nominate and vote on a person. That's how.
But
Okay.
not
Gotcha.
until I'm not gonna vote.
I like
So-
to,
Oh, well,
I need to amend my vote.
amend your motion.
Motion?
Yeah, I need to amend it again. And the reason why I need to amend my motion. I rescind my motion so I can do a new one. Because of that, I think that if we do our organizational meeting and it's 30 minutes max, then we can go right into a special meeting so that we can do our nomination for the open seat. And then I do want to, and I got this from Skinner North, and so I'm on a thread
Should do
with
the
some
inverse.
Northside principals. I want to ask for permission to do some balance transfers and to write checks up to a certain dollar amount without pre-approval, so it doesn't hold up the procurement process. And so I finally got the documents that other schools use. So I wanted to do that at the beginning of the year so we could do our nomination of the new parent representative and take care of the budget stuff at that special meeting. So we should be in and out in 60 minutes. So I want to just hold a special meeting after that because
Well, let's do it first. Let's get the person on first.
the
and then have
organ.
the
I don't think
organization
we
meeting.
can do it. We have to do the organizational meeting first.
Who said where?
It's in the
Because you have to have a
LSC.
chair and a secretary.
So after this, you're not the chair anymore.
You done, Black?
Oh, we got to do it at first?
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah.
And then we also have to let people know publicly that there's a vacancy and they need to submit a nomination. They need to submit if they want.
I don't think that's a process. I'll
So the way-
confirm.
Right, because the way he explained it was we could come up with
Exactly.
somebody
And
that
just, we
want
vote.
to, and then not me, I don't get to vote, but then you guys would vote,
Right.
and whoever gets the majority, like everybody can nominate somebody,
Okay.
and then whoever gets the majority of the vote.
Yeah, I called Mr. Pittman and asked about it. So
Okay.
I think that my understanding, I'll confirm it, is that we can nominate and vote on whoever. It's not like a,
Special
Okay.
election.
yeah.
Right.
So you can leave it the same. Just say you need a new one.
Mhm.
You don't even.
See, the parliamentarian got me right.
He got you right.
Mhm. I make a motion that we hold our organizational meeting I move that we hold our organizational meeting on Wednesday, July 12th, 2003, from 2023. Dang. 2023 from 12 to 12:30 p.m.
Second.
All right, motion been made and properly second. Any discussion or questions? There being none, all those in favor of the motion vote by raising your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. So our organizational meeting will be on July 12th, 2023, 12 o'clock.
I move that we hold a special LSC meeting on Wednesday, July 12th from 12:30 to 1 p.m.
Second.
Motion been made and properly second. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes. Next, we will move
Just
in.
got a question.
Yes.
So I know we don't have a July. Do we not have an August either? Are we back in September?
We don't have a meeting.
Hold on.
I'm asking.
Do you have a meeting?
I think
We didn't meet in August.
We had no, yeah.
Yeah, the organization.
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
we had a meeting in August.
No, we
But that
met.
was-
No, we
No,
had-
we had an August
No, we had
meeting.
an
I'm looking
August
at the
meeting. We
agenda.
did.
Because remember,
We did.
We met like back to back.
Yeah, we had a July
This is
and
not
August.
fraternities and sororities. The summers are not off, my friend.
No, just
I
know
will
that
see you
It was
soon.
back to back, July.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did. I
So we
remember,
only off technically July.
Technically.
but not really.
Technically. Yeah, but
this
But
not
not
really.
really.
All right. So next we'll move right into our public comment portion of the meeting.
There are a few from our listening box. The first one reads as follows. I find it extremely disrespectful, the whispering and side conversations that are taking place as people away from the microphone are trying to speak. One of the comments was to hurry up the meeting because one of the members didn't want to be there all night. The behaviors displayed were truly unprofessional at times. I also have a concern with the Friends of Bronzeville members who serve on the LSC openly stating that they will fund the dunk tank for room parents only to be first paid with the revenue equaling the amount paid for the dunk tank. If anything, there should be an arrangement in place with an agreed to split with an agreement, I'm guessing that's what's supposed to say, to split the profits, not revenue. Additionally, the idea one of the parents in the room provided of giving back or selling at a reduced price old BCS gear was a good thought. However, that was extreme. That was immediately met by members serving both on the LSC and the Friends of with resistance. One of them stated they were against that because the Friends of group sales BCS gear, and that would take away from them. And that they would be willing only if the used items were sold to them and then they would resell them for profit. If it was in jest or not is beside the point.
Okay, so a couple of things, and they're sort of intertwined, but I guess I'll address the first issue regarding, I guess, the dunk tank. And Richard, you could talk about this. Richard will address the dunk tank. I'll talk about the, I guess, the spirit gear, and there was another thing. So the spirit gear. So I'm not sure that whoever made this comment heard everything right, but just to kind of be transparent with this, and this is really outside of the scope of the LSC, but since it's intertwined, I'll go ahead and address it. But spirit gear sales require a lot. Uh, it's not just what people think we get out there and sell. There's ordering, there's picking up, there's printing, there's setting a date, there's organizing with the school, there's packaging, there's all types of things that go on, and we barely have the bandwidth to do that, to sell the new gear, and then to impose upon us or think that we should just sell used gear, which will require us washing it, storing it, cleaning it, doing that. We just simply don't have the bandwidth. It's not that we don't think it's a great idea. In fact, we would love for someone to take that on their own, but that's just not part of part of our model. Not to mention we have $5,000 or $6,000 in new spirit gear that we need to focus on selling. So it wasn't knocked down because for some ulterior motive. It's just we don't have the bandwidth to do it. That isn't currently part of our model and what we do, and we're trying to accomplish what we want to do and that's what's incorporated in our model. So that is just it wasn't anything bad, and we shot it down because we know internally what it takes just to do what we've done, to get storage and have set up days just to sell the new spirit gear. So to incorporate use where we have to wash, clean, or all kind of other logistical things, it's just a nightmare, and it's not even something that we have the bandwidth to do. So that's with respect to the spirit gear. Richard, I'll let you address the other parts.
Can test?
You might have turned the mic off. Passing it back and forth.
Test. It's on. I think it was off, but it's on. All right. I think we already addressed the dunk tank piece, so I won't rehash that. But to the parents or to the posters, comment about funds and what the Friends of Bronzeville has done. This is not an exhaustive list, but in school year 2023, the Friends of Bronzeville has paid for a button maker for Mrs. Forrest's art class. The Friends of Bronzeville and supplies. The Friends of Bronzeville fully funded Rock Lingua, which is the learning system that for 5 years that Ms. Lyons uses to supplement her Spanish curriculum. The Friends of Bronzeville paid for parkas, puffer vests, raincoats, and boots for our security team to ensure that even in inclement weather, they would be outside for the kiss and go lane, because on days when it rained, they were not always out there. So we've outfitted them with full all weather gear. So no matter rain, snow, sleet, they would be out there to greet your children and get them into the building safely, as well as be equipped to go out and work recess duty when children are outside. In addition, the Friends of Bronzeville paid for cheer uniforms for the cheer team. It supplemented the cheer uniform costs for those who could not cover that cost and any additional pieces that were needed. The Friends of Bronzeville also paid for 2 robots and expansion kits for the newly formed robotics team. As Mr. Spears said, the Friends of Bronzeville fully funded the band instruments that were needed. The Friends of Bronzeville paid for the ice cream truck that at the beginning of the school year, as well as the end of the school year festivities. And we've been doing that for the last 3 years, as well as if you have attended any of the parent socials, those are funded by the Friends of Bronzeville. Again, this list is not exhaustive, but in full transparency, we wanted to address those comments. But going forward, if a parent or a community member has questions about the Friends of Bronzeville and the expenditures of the Friends of Bronzeville, feel free to email president.fobcs@gmail.com, vicepresident.fobcs@gmail.com, or treasurer.fobcs@gmail.com. Thank you.
Some of the people are commenting that they missed the reply about the duck tank. Could you briefly go over that to the microphone?
Sure. For the dunk tank, the Friends of Bronzeville fronted the money for the Friends of Bronzeville and the room parents are 2 separate entities. The Friends of Bronzeville is a separate 501c3 meant to supplement curriculum, support the school, and any expenditures that the school may have. When it was proposed in the May meeting, it was not going to pass because it was asked that the room parents be asked to pay for the dunk tank, and then we're going to be asked to pay for tickets to be able for their children or them to be able to throw at the dunk tank. The Friends of Bronzeville stepped in at that point and said, we will pay the seed money so gratuitously so that the room parents can get a dunk tank, and would expect that money be paid back as with any other thing, and then the profit or the net would then remain with the room parents as it did. All the Friends of Bronzeville paid out was $100, which was returned to the Friends of Bronzeville. Secondly, no, it is not a it's not going to hurt the Friends of Bronzeville budget. And if the room parents or any other entity requires funds from the Friends of Bronzeville, there is a form that can be completed. It needs to be signed off by the administration. So either AP Bellamy or Ms. Spicer, that they are in support of that. And then the Friends of Bronzeville as a board will vote and decide if they're going to pay it. So if the room parents wanted that and wanted to have it funded and not need to be returned, they could have asked for the money in a through that process. And I would say, or I'll end with, having been president of the Friends of Bronzeville since its inception, I don't recall anything that the Friends of Bronzeville has been asked to fund that we have not. Whether it been $15,000 for band equipment, and even before this year, when we were in the height of COVID, and Mr. Spears wanted to make sure that his scholars still had music that were staying at home. He wanted to create music boxes to send home to all the students, and the Friends of Bronzeville stepped in right away and said, "Tell us how much that costs, and we'll pay for it."
And we're still using those in class every day for our kindergarten and first graders.
So I will end with that, unless there's a question.
One more. This comment reads, can you please expand on what swayed your mind to reconsider Ms. Hernandez for teaching fourth grade? At the last coffee with the principal, you mentioned the need to stabilize fourth grade and that Ms. Hernandez was a very good option for dealing with that. How will you stabilize fourth grade if Ms. Hernandez is not an option? A new to BCS teacher for fourth grade would mean 2 years back to back for students.
2 years back to back for students, what?
I'm assuming that's what it says. I'm assuming that they mean a new teacher.
So I am charged with looking at teacher credentials, their strengths and the talents that they bring to the team, and balancing that out. As a growing school, I have to make hard decisions all the time. So what I am doing is looking for someone that has the skill set to work with our fourth graders that will be joining us in the fall. Miss Hernandez is not a magic bullet. She doesn't have a magic wand. She doesn't have magic Pixie does. But when I have to balance out the needs of the entire school, I have to make decisions based on that. So, as previously stated, if we find a suitable candidate that would go great on that fourth grade team, that new person will be there. If not, that's where Miss Hernandez will be. I also have a brand new middle school. And so, not having a teacher who has tenure at BCS be on that middle school team is also a big concern as well. So, while these decisions may seem arbitrary and not well thought out and spontaneous, I do want you to know that I actually have lost sleep over this. So any decision that I make, it is very strategic and is in the best interest of the entire school community, not one student, not one class, not one grade level, but the entire school community. And I appreciate and thank you in advance for trusting me to make the best decision for our school community.
Motion's been made and properly second to adjourn the meeting. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting, raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, that motion passes.